Welcome to Daily Life Connection, as we continue to explore who God is, how He works, and what difference that makes in our lives. Today I want to share with you about the God who is predictably good, a predictably good God. Many times in scriptures we read, God is good. In our church, most Sundays, our leader will say, God is good, and we all respond all the time. Both of those things are important. It's wonderful that God is good, but if He's not good all the time, then He's not predictably good. He is a God that we're never quite sure whether we're going to get the good God or the angry God in any particular situation. I remember hearing this phrase years ago from a man I highly admired, Jerry Cook, who's the author of Monday Morning Church and Love, Acceptance, and Forgiveness. If you haven't read his books, I really encourage you to find them on Amazon or somewhere, especially that Love, Acceptance, and Forgiveness. Powerful book. Changed my life back there 25 years ago when I first read it. Privileged to hear him several times in conferences, have dinner with him once, and just a man who has so challenged my faith, Jerry Cook. And I remember him saying, God is not only good, but He is predictably good. In any situation you and I find ourselves in, you can predict one thing: God is good. In every mess up, failure, sin, error, whatever you want to call it, that you and I find ourselves in, and when we find ourselves on the guilty end of it, there is one thing predictable: God is good. God is good. When we find ourselves in trouble, in dark times, in depressing times, in challenging times like we've been going through this last couple of months in our world, and I mean, frankly, in our world, this whole pandemic, and then all of the racial tension and so on, and injustice that has been there for so many years in North America, and then here in Nova Scotia, we have had, two military women killed, one in a tragic plane accident, but two in tragic plane accidents, and and a police officer shot. It has been brutal this last month. When we seem to be weak because we're isolated and so on, all of these things have come against it. It can be depressing. It can be fearful. It can be hard. It can be feel like the whole world is slid out from under our feet. In that, there's one thing that is predictable. God is good. God is good. I don't know about my neighbor. I don't know about me. But I know God is predictably good. In fact, I know about me, I'm not predictably good. I can be. Hopefully, the older I get, the more I am on the good side of things. But I know I can be grumpy. I know I can be agitated. I know I can be tired and weary and worn out and not have much patience. That's not God. He is predictably good. You can just bank on it. You can count on it. That no matter what my condition is, or the circumstances around me, or the situations I find myself in, none of those change God's goodness, His predictability of goodness. He just will be good. So that makes it incredibly safe to go to Him, doesn't it? When I mess up, when I am like David and going like, there's such anguish in my soul and pain in my heart, Lord, when will I, we aren't going to go to God and get a stern lecture. We aren't going to go to God and get chastised or condemned. We're going to find goodness. Goodness. A God who is predictably good. So I encourage you today, not just once, not just in your quiet time, but over and over and over today, turn to God and go, you're good. You're good. Turn to Him with confidence. I can predict something for you. I can predict this. Every time you turn to the living God, It will be good. It will be good. Ah, what a relief that is. Remember the old ad? Remember the old Alka-Seltzer ad? Wasn't it the guy, plop, plop, fizz, fizz? Oh, what a relief it is. Well, that's how it is about God's predictable goodness. What a relief it is to know that He will always be good. Well, with that, I'll say goodbye for now. God bless. We'll talk again tomorrow.